I was 36, out of work, lungs filled with the damp grit of factory air and looking for something quiet. The ad was simple: keeper needed, Breakwater Point, lodging included. Nobody wanted it. Too isolated, too lonely, too many stories. I wanted silence, and the sea doesn't ask your name. The first week was uneventful. The tower rose like a black tooth from the cliff, stone ribs climbing into the mist. I learned the rhythm of the lantern, climb the spiral stairs, oil the gears, win the clockwork. Every night at 7:04, the beam would cut across the waves, steady as breath. The sound of it turning became a lullaby. Then the logbook found me. It was under the bunk in my quarters, leather soft as rotten fruit, pages crumbling at the edges. The first entry dated back to 1903. Handwriting neat, clipped, navy straight. March 1st. The sea is restless. Someone knocks at the door when the tide comes in. I laughed it off. Old superstitions, a man with too much solitude talking to waves. But at 2:17 that night, the knock came. 3 sharp raps against the metal door at the base of the tower. I thought maybe it was the wind, maybe driftwood, maybe anything but a fist. I didn't open it. The next morning, another entry waited in the log. Same neat hand, though I hadn't touched the pen. March 2nd. Do not open. They know your name now. The weeks blurred. Salt air crusted the windows. The lamp's heartbeat pulsed over black water, and the fog wrapped the tower like a damp shroud. But the logbook wrote itself. Every morning, fresh words inked in that same old Navy hand. March 5th, they are patient. March 9th, the tide brings faces. Do not look long. March 13th, she waits on the stairs. I told myself I wouldn't look. That was my mistake. On the 13th night, climbing to tend the lamp, I saw her. Halfway up, leaning against the stone, dress dripping seawater, though no rain had fallen. Pale skin, dark hair plastered to her cheeks, eyes black as low tide. She whispered, though her lips never moved, "Keeper, keeper, open the door." I stumbled past her, heart bucking, lungs raw. When I glanced back, the stairwell was empty, salt water slicking the steps. The logbook's entry that morning was short. March 14th. Too late. You've seen her. Nights stretched longer. The knocks grew louder. Sometimes a child's laugh bubbled up through the drain. Sometimes the lantern turned without my hand, spinning too fast, carving the waves into white scars. Once I found seaweed braided into my bed sheets, knotted tight in patterns like ropes binding a body. Sleep stopped coming. Food turned briny, as if the ocean had salted it before I could lift the fork. My skin smelled of fish scales. And always, the logbook. March 19th, one more tide. March 20th, she is inside. The final night, the storm rose like a beast. Waves taller than the tower hammered the cliffs, spray exploding against the glass. The beam cut through sheets of water, showing ships that weren't there, sails rotted, hulls broken. Faces clung to the railings, mouths wide but silent. At 2:17, the knock came again, louder than thunder. The door bowed inward, hinges screaming. I ran down the spiral, lantern swinging, and saw the iron door sagging from its frame. Water spilled in, cold and alive, carrying shells that clattered like teeth. She stood ankle deep in the flood, hair drifting as if she were still underwater. Her eyes were empty sockets. Her mouth curved into a smile that didn't belong to the living. "Keeper," she whispered inside my skull. "It's your turn to tend below." The logbook was on the step, open to the last page. My own hand moved without me, pen carving the words even as I dropped the lantern. March 21st, I opened the door. They found the lighthouse empty after the storm. The lantern shattered, the stairs slick with salt. Only the logbook remained, pages soaked but still legible. My name was written again and again, each entry dated for nights that haven't happened yet. And if you visit Breakwater Point, if you stand on the rocks at low tide, you might hear 3 knocks against the stone. Do not answer. Do not look, because the keeper isn't gone. The sea doesn't let go. That's one full immersive horror story in the same slow burn, eerie, logbook confessional style as The Trucker's Tale.